Welcome to TBC News, our headlines tonight. Government to continue to improve transport system and infrastructure in Dar es Salaam. Country's 2030 agricultural sector goal given a boost. Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages at TBC Online. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has urged ambassadors representing their countries in Tanzania to move their offices to Dodoma. President Samia made the call in Dar es Salaam when she met with the diplomats.
A pleasure that I extend to you a warm welcome to the second diplomatic show party since I assumed office as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. I would also like to extend my very best wishes to you and your families for a prosperous 2023.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and the East African Cooperation, Dr. Stargomena Tax, has also explained about the importance of the country's national policy 2021 and how it will help to strengthen the economy.
The implementation of the Tanzania's policy of 2021 under your leadership, today the voice of the United Republic of Tanzania is widely heard, and the cooperation between Tanzania and the international community has broadened and taken to greater heights. We are witnessing the strengthening and the deepening of partnerships and engagements with the diplomatic community in Tanzania and around the globe.
In other news, Deputy Minister for Works and Transport Godfrey Kasekenya says the government is devoted to continue to improve transport system and infrastructure in the commercial city Dar es Salaam to increase its daily productivity. He was inspecting the progress of the third phase of Dar es Salaam bus rapid transit from Kariakoo to Gongo la Mboto. Emmanuel Samuel has more details.
The Deputy Minister for Works and Transport is accompanied by some Tanzania National Roads Agency executives. Engineer Godfrey Kasekenya inspected the constructions of the third phase of Dar es Salaam bus rapid transit from Kariakoo to Gongo la Mboto, including the constructions of storage facility. The Deputy Minister directs TANROADS to supervise the constructor to make sure he finishes the construction.
Let us continue to ensure that we help him, especially when we get challenges. This is very possible, and it can be done by ensuring that tools and the specialists are available, and the government officials should ensure that after every step they make sure that was planned to make done is done.
On their side, TANROADS promised to execute the directive accordingly.
We ensure that the minister that we have planned and we are working hand to hand with engineers. He is well prepared from tool up to specialists that have been brought here.
Here, the Dar es Salaam residents expressed their delight over the progress of the project.
As the construction are going on, we believe that it will be better for us, and our country will continue to be developing. If they do this, transportation will be easier and we won't get so much trouble.
The government has allocated more than 200 billion shillings for the constructions of the third phase project. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Emmanuel Samuel, TBC News.
In other news, Deputy Minister for Information, Communication and Information Technology, Kundo Mathew, says the government is determined to support the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, to execute all its strategic plans. The Deputy Minister was launching new TBC Staff Council on behalf of the Minister for Information, Communication and Information Technology. He insisted that the corporation has great contribution in bringing development to the nation. Here's a report prepared by Kuluthum Dunda and read by Teddy Parnyanga.
It is the opening ceremony of the new TBC Staff Council, an event that begins with the election of the Secretary of the Secretariat of the Staff Council and his assistant. Here, the government says it is committed to support the corporation in executing all its strategic duties.
Mwenyekiti na ndugu wajumbe, nimalize kwa kuwashukuru tena kwa kumwalika waziri.
I would like to thank the chairperson and its members for inviting the minister to come and launch the new council and opening the meeting of Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation's Workers' Council. I also thank the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for continuing to fully cooperate with the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation and for providing funds that help its operation for providing news to the people.
Na kuendelea kutoa fedha ili kuboresha miundombinu yake ya kutoa habari kwa Watanzania.
The chairman of the council, who is also the Director General of the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, Dr. Ayub Rioba, vows to continue to improve and maintain the station's coverage and reach.
And as I speak today, the coverage has actually exceeded 80%. When we finish, by March, when we finish all the ongoing projects, the coverage of radio in Tanzania is going to be 92%. So you can imagine. And we expect, and with what we have seen, with the determination of our President, Samia Suluhu Hassan, it is possible that by 2024-25, we are going to have TBC in the entire country, everywhere. So the coverage is going to be 100%. We have seen that commitment from our national leaders, from our president herself. We have seen it from the minister himself and also from the deputy minister himself. So with all that commitment, we are sure 100% that by 2025, all Tanzanians are going to receive TBC Taifa signal, TBC FM signal.
Now let's head on to the agricultural sector, where Deputy Minister for Agriculture, Anthony Mavunde, has affirmed government's commitment to receive and support foreign investors in the agricultural sector. He was opening Agro-Food Pack Africa Exhibition 2023. Mavunde reassures government readiness on creating ventures with foreign companies to foster country's ambitious agricultural target to attain an impressive 10% annual growth by 2030. Here's a report by Rehema Sababili.
Agro-Food Pack Africa exhibition have brought together traders in the value chain of agricultural products, including packaging, aiming at expanding business network as well as learning on the latest technology. While opening the exhibition, the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Anthony Mavunde, says Tanzania has a vast of opportunities in agro-processing business and the government is ready to support foreign ventures.
There is great potential areas of food agro-processing investment in Tanzania, which goes from horticultural fruits, variety, vegetables, cereals, traditional cash crops to edible oils. I urge and humbly welcome domestic and foreign investors to explore and invest heavily in our country. The government is ready to receive and support your ventures.
Tanzania and Pakistan have good business relations, and till last year we have trade between two countries around $220 million. So we want this trade to be increased, and this kind of exhibitions is the right steps to have the good cooperation between the two countries. And as you all are here, so this is a good opportunity to have interactions with other countries as well.
Some exhibitors say the exhibition is a great platform for creating new markets.
We are export our products and exported. We are gonna boost our sales, okay, and we were gonna expand our market, okay, in African countries, okay, and we are here to do that for Tanzania, okay.
Because Africa is a big market of food industry. As we search, there is a big food market here. So we are the suppliers, and definitely we can invest here too.
The exhibition attracted about 33 international countries. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sebabili, TBC News.
Thank you, Rehema, for that report. The chairman of the Board of Directors of the Tanzania Port Management Authority, TPA, Ambassador Ernest Mangu, urges Tanzania Port Authority to continue to perform professionally and make its productivity relevant to the investment made. He was inspecting 4 ports in Ruvuma and Mbeya after the government provided funds to complete the projects.
Tumeridhika na pale ambapo tumeona kuna haja kuongeza nguvu kidogo, tumetoa maelekezo.
We are satisfied, and we have seen there is a need to increase a little effort. We have given instructions, and as the board, we will manage and make sure that they are implemented. We are confident that we have reached this point, and we are in a good position to improve performance and other operations in all ports along Lake Nyasa. We thank the government and President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for enabling the Tanzania Port Authority to make improvements that have put us at this position. I'd like to use this opportunity to ask all Port Authority employees to work hard and make sure that the productivity of the port is relevant to the investment made by the government.
Kulingana na uwekezaji uliofanywa na serikali iweze kuona kwamba kutupa hiyo hela bali imewekeza, na ndio maana matunda yanapatikana.
Mangu has also called on traders in the Southern Highlands to use the ports to expand their businesses. The TPA Deputy Director General Engineer Juma Kijavara says that TPA plans to increase port services along Lake Nyasa. He believes the move will contribute greatly to the country's economic growth. Construction of Ndumbi Port in Ruvuma region and Kirira Port in Mbeya region have been completed, while construction of Mbamba Bay Port in Ruvuma region is expected to start this year. The Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, DSE, has listed KCB Fursa's Sukuk Islamic bond with a total value of 11 billion shillings. The move offers more value to its investors as they can now trade their shares. Rehema Sebabili reports.
The Fursa Sukuk bond is the first public Islamic bond in Tanzania and East Africa to be listed at the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Speaking during the listing ceremony, Managing Director of Capital Market and Security Authority, CMSA, Nicodemus Mkama, says the listed bonds puts Tanzania on the map that meets the requirement of Sharia in the world, while the DSE Acting Chief Executive Officer, Mary Mniwasa, added that listing a sukuk at DSE will guarantee security to the investors.
Kwa hiyo tunatoa rai.
I call for the institutions and companies to use financial and capital markets to obtain funds that will be used for the implementation of the development projects.
We have never had a bond that is related to matters of faith. The listed bond is going to expand the scope of the bonds available in the market.
The KCB's head of Islamic Bank, Amor Muro, stated that beyond compliance, the listing would offer more opportunities to the investors.
Tanzania right now is working towards financial inclusion, making sure that every single Tanzanian, whether they're Muslim or non-Muslim, can participate fully in the formal sector, that is the banking sector. So by having this Islamic bond, it means that those who could not buy the conventional bonds that were paying out interest, which is one of the restrictions within the Islamic religion, can now buy this sukuk and have no issue at all with regards to interest, as this pays out profit from the business that we do within KCB Sahel Banking.
The initial sale of Fursa Sukuk bond was opened in November 2022, and the window closed on 5th of January with an expected return of 8.75 per year. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sebabili, TBC News.
Moving on, following government's instructions to protect water sources in order to allow flow of water to rivers and dams to generate electricity in the country, Deputy Director of the Rufiji Basin, Engineer Freddie Haule, has handed over 16 motorcycles to the local leaders of communities located around strategic water sources in the basin. Irene Mwakalinga has more details.
The Deputy Director of the Basin, Engineer Fred Haule, said that the provision of motorbikes is a continuation of efforts to conserve water sources in the basin, which is important to the country's economy.
To support these water users associations in order for them to operate smoothly their activities related to water conservations at the community levels.
What are the expectations now?
We expect to have sustainable flow in the rivers, but we expect to see the conserved water sources. Okay? We don't expect to hear from anybody who we provide to him today that I failed to reach somewhere because I didn't have the transportation means. Okay, so we have minimized that obstacles.
Speaking after handing over the motorbikes, Mufindi District Commissioner Sadim Tambule asked the communities to use the motorbikes for the intended purpose of providing education on environmental issues, especially conserving water sources.
We have every reason to continue to ensure that the environment and water resources are taken care of. If these resources are destroyed, we will lack employment opportunities, national fund and a stable economy and reliable electricity.
Kupitia vyanzo hivi ndio maji yanaenda Ruaha Mkuu, hifadhi yetu ya Ruaha inaneemeka, inaimarika, yanaenda Mtela tunazalisha umeme, yanaenda Kidatu tunazalisha umeme, yanaenda Mwalimu Nyerere tunazalisha umeme.
The leaders of the communities say lack of means of transportation made it difficult for them to reach remote areas that led to some dishonest citizens to misuse water and destroy water sources.
I believe that through us monitoring our water sources, especially we in Mbarali, the Hefo Valley's drought will decrease.
According to the Rufiji Basin Water Board, the ongoing rains in the southern highland regions have begun to bring hope of an increase in the flow of water to the existing sources in the basin. Irene Mwakalinga, TBC, Iringa.
Thank you, Irene, for that report. Now, let's head on to the tourism sector, whereby, inspired by President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan with the Tanzania Royal Tour, Sharon Ringo Moore, at the age of 12, has published a book to inspire and educate her fellow children and youth on the importance of tourism attractions in East Africa. Here's a report by Margaret Getty.
She is the youngest East Africa's trade and tourism ambassador. At the age of 12, she has been able to publish a book named The Big Five. Not only writing books is her specialty, Sharon also leads a foundation named Sharon Ringo Moore Foundation with the aim of protecting the earth against the effects of climate change.
The Big Five, I was inspired by our own president, Mama Samia, because of her royal tour, and I decided that since she's female and she's the first female president in Tanzania, I decided if she can do it, then I can do it too. So I started my promotion, and then I went to different national parks like Serengeti National Park, Ngorongoro Conservation Area, Manyara National Park, Tarangire National Park, and then I had an idea to write a book because I didn't see so many Tanzanian children there because they don't have the education to why to go to Serengeti and what to learn there. So I decided to write this book so that I would teach my fellow children in Tanzania and also Africa, so that they know about our animals and tourism attractions. And also you can get the book in Dar es Salaam, in bookshops in Dar es Salaam and bookshops in Arusha. You can also call my foundation with a number of 07-546-55551. I promote tourism attractions, and I try my best to work with children and youths to start raising their voices, so that they tell adults and parents to stop poaching, to stop polluting greenhouse gases, and to stop all the bad things that they're going to do, so that we have a green future and the future generations that are coming to have a great life.
Lucky to be born in a place where people can dream, Tanzania's Sharon Ringo has a goal of planting 1 billion trees, and she has already started her mission with planting over 39,000 trees by the age of 12.
I have planted over 39,750 trees, and I've already been given all the trees, and now it's just me to find places and also to get funds from different people and also governments and presidents and foundations also to work with me, so that we accomplish my vision and my dream goal to plant 2 million trees. And in the future, my goal is to plant 1 billion trees. So I hope people come join me and finish my goal.
Making it to the top brilliant girls in Tanzania, Sharon and many others get their inspiration from our very own president, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, who has been an icon and inspiration to many women and girls in Tanzania and the world to take up space in all aspects of development. Margaret Geddy, TBC.
Fascinating indeed. And that item concludes Local News Tonight. International news up next. Let's have a look at international news by Nasa Kingo.
Water has crossed into Namibia from neighboring Angola, and residents along the border are warned to be on alert. Reports say a few days ago, Namibia had still not recorded floodwater from southern Angola. The Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform's senior hydrologist, Leonard Hango, says a flash flood from Tufuatilie catchment is flowing towards the Namibia to Angola borders. He cautions communities living along the Namibia-Angola border in Ohangwena region to take precautionary measures against flooding. Public members have also been reminded to stock up on supplies of food and to ensure that young and elderly are not put at risk through crossing deep oceanas. The Constitutional Court in Benin has declared that pro-government parties won a majority of seats in Sunday's parliamentary election. Allies of President Patrice Talon secured 81 seats, while the main opposition party, the Democrats, won 28 seats. It is the first time in 4 years that the opposition will be represented in parliament. At the last poll, the only parties that were allowed to compete were the ones loyal to President Talon, whose opponents were jailed or exiled at that time. Forces from Ethiopia's Amhara region who fought in support of federal troops during the 2-year civil war in neighboring Tigray have withdrawn in line with an African Union-backed ceasefire. The withdrawal is the key step towards implementing the agreement reached in November. The agreement was signed by Ethiopia's federal government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, a party that dominates the region. The conflict broke out in November 2020 over disagreements between the federal government in Addis Ababa and Tigrayan authorities. According to the United Nations, the war has displaced more than 2 million Ethiopians and left more than 13.6 million people in the north dependent on humanitarian aid. Hundreds of people in the Somali's capital Mogadishu attended a government-organized rally to protest against the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group. President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed of Somalia was also part of the rally at a stadium under tight security, and he used the event to call on Somalis to help to flush out members of the Al-Shabaab group. He says Somalia will never accept extremist killing or robbing Somalis, saying his government will protect them from Al-Shabaab. He urged the citizen to report on fighters living among them. Al-Shabaab has been waging a bloody uprising against the internationally backed central government since 2007, carrying out attacks in Somalia and neighboring countries, which sent troops to help in the fight against the armed group.
That was international news. Sports news up next. In sports news, the National Arts Council, BASATA, urges all artists to register their works so as to protect their rights. The BASATA senior officer, Abel Ndaga, says all artists should know their responsibility to register their works so as to be legally recognized, the idea which is also being supported by most of the artists in Tanzania.
Kufanya kazi ya sanaa bila kusajiliwa ni kosa kwa mujibu wa sheria.
To do the work of arts while you are not registered is an offense under the law. I like to compare it to the driver who driving while not have a license. You are not drive, but someone who direct the car. I like to call the artist to come to BASATA, and there is to register their work.
Iko wazi BASATA kwa ajili ya kusajiliwa.
Nashukuru sana uongozi wa serikali.
My special thanks to the government under President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, who always encourage people with disability to be cared and given opportunities, because to give money is not help. Just give them a hook to fish any kind of a fish they want, which is what we need from BASATA, SOTA, and the film body to help us.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. I am Faitha Gaga. Have a lovely night.